For example, I have another requirement. I have a .txt file in a specific folder in Unity from which I am loading data in the game for reading words. So what is happening, why is it happening, and how it's happening? So that is all mentioned in a single sentence. Now, when I try to make an Android build, the game, so this is the problem that I am facing. First, the process of how things are happening, and then the problem that I am facing.
Hey everyone, this is Roman from Tengen, and today I'm joined by Anul. Anul, please introduce yourself.
Hello guys, I am Anul. I am an indie game developer. I make mobile games and web games, and I also use a lot of AI tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Midjourney to help me in my game development processes.
Right, Anul is also a proud member of our Discord channel, ROI 101, and an author of the newsletter. We'll leave all of the links below this video. And this is actually a second attempt to record a video about AI tools. And the first one failed miserably because the idea was to develop a game within like 30 minutes or so without any programming knowledge. And something went wrong. We tried, and it was already like, I don't know, 1.5 hours of the recording. And then ChatGPT said like enough is enough, too many queries or something like that. Maybe we can start from here. So this time we'll try to deep dive of what not to do when you're making a game with the help of the ChatGPT. So I don't think you can make the whole game, but you can definitely use it as a helper. What do you think, Anu? Is it accurate?
It is accurate. You should always use it as a helper. So, what we tried in the previous video was approaching ChatGPT with someone who has no knowledge of Unity, no experience in programming. So what really happened was we asked it a lot of questions about basic things, that we had to do in Unity. For example, to set up the coding scripts, to set up the entire game level, game scene, game prefabs, for example, which is a fair thing from a very beginner's perspective. If you are a beginner, you will have these questions. Why is this going here? Why is this going there? And ChatGPT will explain you that, but then the conversation gets too long. And one of the big problems with all these GPT tools is it starts to hallucinate after a point if you have longer conversations. So it tends to, get confused, and it won't give you as accurate results as it would in the beginning of any chat.
Yeah, precisely. And I felt like the rabbit hole was too deep for me. I was in the role of a person who doesn't understand anything about programming, and I had zero foundational knowledge about how to produce a game via Unity. And ChatGPT was always like, "Hey, here is an object A, and you need to put it in object B," and I had no idea what is what, right? Yeah. What about you? Do you have some programming engineering background?
So I don't have any professional engineering background, but whatever I have learned it by myself through YouTube, articles, tutorials in Unity. So I have been making games in Unity for the past 5 years now, mostly hyper casual games. But it has given me a strong grasp on programming logics, programming systems, processes, to understand the core logic of how things work in Unity, outside of Unity, in different languages. So it is fairly easy for me now to use a tool like ChatGPT because I understand when it mentions something, it asks me to do something in Unity, I can just do it very quickly. So
Right.
yeah, having knowledge, I have quite a lot of knowledge in programming.
Yeah. And how was it? Maybe let's take a step back. Like you've been developing games for 5 years. How was it before the ChatGPT or any AI tools that you were using?
So ChatGPT and AI tools, they have been coming in for the past year now. Before that, it was all manual coding. You had to do everything by hand, which is fair. A lot of people still do that. Even I still do that sometimes for most of the games I work on. But you really had to deep dive into a programming state, into to think a lot about some core problems in the game that you would solve by programming. So let's take chess for example. Chess, if you want to recreate chess for mobile, it has different components. Like, there is a grid management system, there are different pieces, and different pieces can only move in certain spots. So if you're doing it by yourself, you will have to deep dive into, how would I code this? How would this piece only move on these certain spots? How can this piece block another piece's path, for example? But if you delegate it to ChatGPT, if you write it in a very technical way in a document, like, okay, this is a game idea, maybe not chess, maybe it is another board game idea which is similar to chess. But if you explain the rules, like, okay, I have 5 pieces, I have 5 objects, and they move like this in the board game, can you please code it for me in Unity? It can do that in maybe next 2-3 minutes, and you will have to do some back and forth conversation, give it feedback. Okay, this is working, but we need to change this. And maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes you could get the perfect result that you want.
Right, and that's something actually that we've done in our failed experiment. And this part actually worked very well in terms of we just made a screenshot of the game description from the App Store and uploaded it to ChatGPT 4. And I think this part went very well. It understood everything like correctly, right?
Yeah, so yeah, like with the new model of ChatGPT, GPT-4, it can analyze the images, it can understand what is happening, and you can do game design mockups, you can explain the levels, the character, what kind of movement you want, maybe the character should jump or it should walk using WASD keys. If you have a good detailed document or image, it can easily understand that.
Right. Maybe let's jump into some other like use cases. You've produced a lot of content around that. Maybe you can share like the most popular or the ones that you like the most.
So I mainly use it for two things. One of them is to generate icons and logos or even marketing promotional material for games, which is very nice, very easy. You just take them, you modify them in Photoshop, and you go ahead and you upload it on the Google Play Store or wherever you're uploading the game. You can also create icons that you can use inside of the game, like game assets. So maybe I can share my screen after this to show you how it works. And the best use cases for programming can be specific from game to game, but it is mostly the kind of things that you can do it, but it will take you some while. You can do it, but it includes a lot of simple logic, uh, not super complex logic, because many a times games are simple, the logic is simple, but you have to manage a lot of use cases, you have to manage a lot of different things in the coding sequence. It can be done by you, but it will just take you a little while longer.
Right, makes sense. And why do you use specifically ChatGPT for creating like visuals and not some like other tools? Because I've seen so many startups that are doing like, I don't know, creative generation, whatever, call it whatever. Like, is there like advantage, or you just prefer to use ChatGPT because you already have everything inside and just more convenient?
Mostly because it is very convenient, first of all, and I'm quite used to it now. And all of these other tools on the market, I think they're not very different. It's maybe 10 or 15% better or less better than ChatGPT. You can have that conversational feedback with ChatGPT. You can also upload reference images. So you just send an image, you ask it to analyze the image, the style of the image, generate another image in the same format, same structure. There is also Midjourney, the latest version, version 6, which I still have to try it out, but I've heard it's pretty good. It can also generate text, and the images are really detailed and according to how you want. So I'm still exploring more tools in 2024. But yeah, I think I'll stick to these for now.
I see. Let's jump into the screen sharing part then. Like, please
Okay.
share the use cases.
Okay, so I had a fruit game in which we had different fruits, and these fruits were mostly in the shape of fruits. So the watermelon game is a very famous trend in mobile games. And the idea is like a very classic 2048 ball dropping games. The balls merge together and they evolve into a better fruit. So I wanted different shape of fruits, but still giving that very fruity feel to it. So what I did was I took an image which I already had of a grape, and I
Yep.
told, this is a grape. Can you generate me a watermelon of similar style? So it generated a watermelon for me in a, kawaii style, nice, sweet. I asked it to reduce the kawaiiness to it, so toned it down a
Hmm.
little. And okay, but I was thinking to have some kind of different shapes. Now, again, this is 3D. I asked it to produce a 2D image. So I asked it to fix it with a flat 2D, less kawaii, but still keep it cute. And it produced me a very nice looking image. So you can just easily take this in Photoshop, remove the background, remove the bottom part, and you get a nice round fruit, which is the core of the fruit games concept, having round fruits.
Right. And maybe you can also explain a little bit the way you talk with ChatGPT. Maybe there is also like a best practices in here, like what are the
Mhm.
commands?
So, there are some it's called prompt engineering. I still have no idea how exactly prompt engineering works, but I think it's just giving a very detailed set of instructions to ChatGPT, how you want some things. Like I mentioned in this, what should be fixed? Flat 2D, reduce this, and it should still be kawaii. You need it 2D, not 3D. You have to be specific with what you want. You have to describe the requirements. So if, let's say we take some example of a game. Hmm, okay, so for example, let's take an example here. Okay, so I'm talking to it, hey, 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 hey. So I am explaining it, that we have a word game, for example. It's a 2D grid of tiles, this. So now I'm explaining with an example, we have a 9 by 9 grid. It can have letters randomly filled, but we need to check if the letters are horizontally or vertically. So I'm really describing what needs to happen, in a little bit specific way, and it is generating some letters, some code for me. Da, 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 da. Let me go into some place when I am diving into specifications. So, okay, now, for example, I have another requirement. I have a .txt file in a specific folder in Unity from which I am loading data in the game for reading words. So what is happening, why is it happening, and how it's happening? So that is all mentioned in a single sentence. Now, when I try to make an Android build, this is the problem that I am facing. First, the process of how things are happening, and then the problem that I am facing. So it understands, because I'm working with this folder in Unity, and
Right.
because I'm trying to build on Android, it's important to note that it is a bit different on Android than, Windows or Mac.
Yeah, yeah,
So then it gives me a solution like, okay, you can maybe try to do it in this way. So this is like you have to specify how, what, why things are happening and what problem you're facing, how you should, get some output out of it.
got it. In this case, yeah, this is clear and makes sense. Maybe we can get back to the use cases. So we
Mm-hmm.
had this Kawaii game, and you used it for what? For the game assets, right? This is gonna
Yeah,
be in
that
game.
was for game assets, but I think I also have something for logos, yeah.
Yep, yep.
So, okay, let's say, hey, I need a logo for my game. It's a watermelon game. I'm specifying the characters that needs to be there in the logo. Watermelon and strawberry, and they're wearing nice, cute Christmas hats because we just had Christmas.
Yeah,
There should also be some text. Watermelon Xmas, style should be 2D, kawaii, cartoon cute, and pastel background. I always prefer pastel background because you can easily clean it in Photoshop. So you get
mm,
a nice PNG image without any background. You can put it on whatever background you want. And the output was, I was very happy, satisfied with it. The text is perfect. Watermelon game. Like,
mm-hmm.
they have nice, cute hats. Strawberry has a strawberry hat, which I don't
Right.
mind. And the whole image is fitting the theme of what I want. So I asked it to cook up another variation, add a gingerbread to it. It didn't work out as expected. It just gave me too many characters. But again, the gingerbread is cute. These characters are
Right.
cute. So if I like this, I can take it in Photoshop. I can just extract the characters, clean the background, and have my own logo, my own image.
Yeah. And I feel like this is a great promotion for ChatGPT 4, right? Because this is
Yeah,
only available there.
yeah,
Um, and you're using your version, right?
yeah. And yeah, I have my own version, but for images, I'm using GPT-4.
Uh-huh.
My own version is basically GPT Game Dev. So I
Mm-hmm.
can, you know, so it already has some default prompts based on how I have set up the GPT. How can I improve my game's performance? Can you help me code a feature? What are top free games on the Play Store right now? Okay, let's try this. What are top free games on Play Store, Google Play right now?
Huh. So that's already an advantage, right? Having a presets of whatever you're
Yeah.
doing.
It,
What
it,
are uh-huh.
it, it visits all these different websites. It tries to extract the information
Mm-hmm.
of top free games on Google Play. So Bloodstrike and it's getting these from appbrain.com, and it's also specifying ratings and how many installs the games have. It may differ from the actual Play Store listing. This may not be updated, but this gives you a pretty good idea of what's happening in the stores right now.
Yeah. Outside of presets, what other advantages do you have with your own version? I remember you ingested the character of JC Pinkman in it, of course. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So we can ask, who are you? Uh, yeah, see, I embody the spirit
yeah,
of Japan. So Jesse Pinkman, because the chatbot treats you as Walter White, because I think Jesse Pinkman and Walter White, they have a very cool relation of assistant and master. Not master, but a good partner and a good assistant. So ChatGPT is the assistant, Jesse Pinkman. And also because Walter White is a great creator, great product manager, you could say, great master of chemicals. He knows how to create a high quality product. And I think that is the ultimate goal of making games, creating high quality products. So with that flow, I think it is able to assist you a little bit better.
right. Yeah, this is brilliant. Um, yeah, do we have any other use cases that we want to showcase today?
Uh, Mostly it is games and assets, but mm, So I had this problem with my key store. I lost my key store is used to, sign the APK files in Android to
Mm-hmm.
upload on Google Play Store. So I lost the key store file. I had to create a new one, but to update the key store file in Google Play Store, you need to have a different version of it. So you need a .jks file. So I just asked it, need help with Android key store. It creates the key store, but I need .jks. So it mentions, what you need to do to convert to .keystore to .jks, and I just followed the instructions. So a lot of day-to-day debugging,
I see.
and yeah,
So in the past, you would go to Google, and now
yeah.
you just type in
It could be
a.
Google, Stack Overflow, if not Stack
Yeah,
Overflow,
yeah.
places, YouTube, and here you can just extract, copy, paste, copy, just paste it there wherever you want to, and you're done.
Nice.
Yeah,
And again, you're using ChatGPT 4, and this is
yeah,
a paid version.
yeah. This is
Uh,
the paid version.
do you think it worth it? Like it's $20 per month, right?
It's definitely worth it for my use case, which is a lot of debugging, a lot of programming, a lot of image generation. GPT 3.5 is good, but it only helps you till a certain limit. So as you see, like you have DALL-E image generation, browsing and analysis, so code analysis and whatever, you can just send your scripts. It will understand everything. Browsing, like we just did for the top free games. So yeah, I think definitely more than worth it for $20. Because Midjourney alone, if you want to have a subscription, I
Mhm.
think it's from $8 or $10 just for the image part. And with
I
this,
see.
you only get DALL-E for free, but in the entire package, yeah.
Right. And you cannot upload images in 3.5.
No, you cannot upload. So you don't have
And
any.
exactly. And
Yeah,
uh, I remember vividly that it was an important part of our like last experiment when we were like making screenshots of
yeah,
errors and uploading instead of like doing the copy paste or
yeah.
something. Quick question, like what about all of the AI tools from other big companies like Google released something? I think there were like a couple of other big names.
Yeah, Google released, I think, Gemini and an updated version of Bard. I'm not sure if they're the same thing. I still have to check them out.
I see.
But I think they are all getting pretty better every day. They might even be better than ChatGPT soon. So
Hmm.
once I experiment with them, I can give my feedback. But it's better for the developers, right? The competition is better, the quality increases as these big companies compete against each other.
Right.
So we better results, we get better output. The quality, because it's a tough market, it's going to be competitive. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good news for us, maybe. Uh, um, Last question, Anu.
Yeah.
What is the best place to learn more about all things AI? Maybe some course or something coming up?
Yeah, can, you can always go to YouTube, you can read a lot of articles about it. It's You can learn it at your own pace. I am also hosting a small workshop, between a small group in second week of January to describe more about using tools like ChatGPT to make games, to make logos, icons. There was a lot of demand once I started posting on LinkedIn, so I could help some people out. It's for free. It will more details will come on my LinkedIn account, so you can, always keep a track over there. And also for web games where you can distribute your casual games, puzzle games, arcade games. The good thing about web games is, you don't have to worry about distribution. You just have to focus on making an engaging game, good quality game, and the distribution will come if you have a good game. So yeah, stay tuned on my LinkedIn account. I'll just post something over there for the workshop.
Super. Then we'll leave links to your LinkedIn, to the newsletter. Thank you so much, Anu. That was really helpful.
Thank you so much, Roman, for hosting me here, for having me here.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to have this conversation.
Yes, same here. Please leave us a like, ask your questions in the comment section, and have a fantastic day. Cheers.
Ciao, guys.